On December 1st, 2022, the internet's strongest caveman got exposed. The man who built an empire eating raw liver, dragging weights, and screaming ancestral tenets was revealed to be a complete fraud. Emails leaked, millions of dollars spent on steroids, and in that moment, the Liver King went from a primal god to just another influencer caught lying to his audience. But this story isn't just about steroids. It's about deception, money, and how far someone will go to sell you a lifestyle. Before the lies, before the scandals, there was just the myth. The Liver King, or as the world would later know him, Brian Johnson, didn't come onto the internet quietly. He exploded onto TikTok and YouTube in 2021 with one of the most absurd yet hypnotizing routines the platform had ever seen. A giant bearded man, veins bulging out of his arms, standing shirtless while chomping down raw cow liver like it was candy, grinning into the camera and shouting his now infamous line, "Liver is king!" This wasn't polished fitness content. This was primal chaos. And it worked. Within months, he was everywhere, selling his so-called ancestral lifestyle, built on what he called the 9 tenets: sleep, move, eat, shield, connect, cold, sun, fight, and bond. But the one tenet that carried his whole empire was eating organs, not chicken breast, not broccoli, but raw liver, bull testicles, bone marrow, heart. The shock value went viral instantly, and before long, this self-proclaimed caveman was pulling millions of views per post. People laughed, people gagged, but people watched, and in the attention economy, that was all that mattered. But Liver King wasn't just eating organs for fun. This was business. Every primal bite was a commercial. His image, his lifestyle, his body, all of it was designed to sell his line of supplements under the brand Ancestral Supplements. Desiccated organs packed into capsules, sold to the same audience who couldn't stomach the raw stuff he was eating on camera. And here's the genius part, or maybe the scam. He marketed it all as the missing link to modern health, claiming that eating liver could boost testosterone, cure depression, fix anxiety, even give you superhero strength. His mansion workouts, where he'd drag weights across his lawn or bench press insane loads, were staged as proof that his ancestral way of living worked. His followers weren't just buying pills, they were buying into a fantasy. The idea that in a world of weakness, they could be primal, powerful, unstoppable. The more outrageous his antics, the more his empire grew. And yet, in every video, there was an elephant in the room. How could a man in his mid-40s eating raw meat have a body that even elite athletes couldn't maintain? When you build a career on shock value, you eventually catch the attention of people much bigger than you. For Liver King, that moment came when Joe Rogan weighed in. Rogan is no stranger to calling out health influencers, and when asked about Liver King, he didn't hold back.
Yeah, the Liver King thing drives me nuts because that guy's on steroids.
Well-
Just shut the fuck up.
well, so
I know he's eating really healthy. It's clear he's eating all these animal foods, and he's eating organ meat, which is very rich in nutrients. All that's true, but he's dodging the main bullet. Well, look at him.
Because, I mean,
Just do you know how rare it is to have a physique like that and not be on steroids?
He said point blank that there was no chance Liver King was natural, that the dude was obviously on steroids. And Rogan wasn't the only one saying it. Fitness creators, nutritionists, and even average viewers all started pointing out the obvious. Veins popping everywhere, insane muscle mass, and a look that screamed performance enhancers. But instead of staying quiet, Liver King doubled down. He went on podcasts, interviews, even made TikToks claiming he had never touched steroids in his life. He said his physique came purely from following his 9 ancestral tenets. Clips of him laughing off accusations went viral. For a while it worked. His fans defended him, claiming Rogan was just jealous or that people didn't want to believe in someone who broke the mold. But the cracks were already starting to show. Rogan's words planted doubt, and that doubt would only grow louder. The entire Liver King empire came crashing down in late 2022 when leaked emails exposed everything. A fitness YouTuber named Derek from More Plates More Dates published private correspondence showing Liver King was spending over $11,000 a month on steroids and human growth hormone. Not only did this confirm what Rogan and countless others had been saying, but it revealed just how deep the lie went. The emails weren't vague. They listed exact compounds, doses, and his entire cycle. And remember, all of this was happening while Liver King was looking into the camera, swearing he was natural, telling kids and young men that if they just ate raw liver, they could look like him. That's what made the backlash so brutal. It wasn't just the steroids, it was the betrayal. His whole brand was built on ancestral living, authenticity, and rejecting modern shortcuts. Yet behind the scenes, he was relying on the most modern, extreme shortcuts possible. The exposure was devastating. Fitness influencers roasted him, memes went viral, and fans who once defended him turned on him overnight. For someone who prided himself on honesty and rawness, this was the fakest thing he could have done. When the emails exploded across the internet, Liver King had no choice but to respond. Just days later, he uploaded a video titled Liver King Confession I Lied. And in this video, he finally admitted it. Yes, he had been on steroids the entire time. Yes, he lied to his audience. And yes, he betrayed the very people who trusted him. But here's the catch. His apology wasn't just about admitting the lie. He claimed he did it because he was trying to help people struggling with depression and suicide. According to him, the Liver King character was built as a way to draw attention to the primal lifestyle and to inspire people to live better. But the problem? He had spent years saying the exact opposite, that he was all natural and didn't need steroids. The comment section was split. Some praised him for finally coming clean. Others called it one of the worst apologies ever made. And the dislikes outweighed the likes by a mile. For someone who always after the apology dropped, the internet went into full meltdown mode. Overnight, Liver King went from the face of primal living to the face of influencer fraud. Memes were everywhere. Late-night hosts cracked jokes, and YouTubers made hour-long breakdowns of his steroid stacks. But the biggest hit came when Joe Rogan decided to weigh in. Rogan had been skeptical of Liver King for years, openly saying on his podcast that there was no chance he was natural. And after the emails leaked, Rogan didn't hold back. He tore into the entire Liver King brand, calling him a con artist who preyed on desperate young men searching for answers. To Rogan, this wasn't just about steroids, it was about selling a lie. He pointed out that the Liver King empire was built on deception, and that thousands of people had spent money on supplements believing his physique was achievable naturally. And Rogan wasn't alone. The wider fitness industry roasted him. Influencers he once collabed with distanced themselves immediately. What was once a billion-dollar looking empire suddenly felt like a house of cards ready to collapse. And that's the end of today's video. I know I've been gone for a little while, and I'm sorry for not uploading as much recently. But I promise you, bigger and crazier videos are on the way. If you've made it this far, it means you actually care about these stories, and I need you in this community. So hit that subscribe button right now, turn on the notifications, and drop a like, because it really does help more than you think. And tell me in the comments, what do you want me to cover next? Your suggestion might just become my next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you very soon